welcome to another episode of Thez Nutz Garage. Today I'm going to be continuing to work on my 1978 Ford F-350. I'm going to be removing the engine out of it today. I also picked up a welder from Harbor Freight Tools, and I'm going to work on my radiator support. I had a crack in it, so I thought about testing it out. I've never welded anything, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money on something that I may not be any good at. So I'll be showing you that here shortly, but first let me show you what I'm doing to the truck. Well, here's the engine. That's a Ford 400 6.6 liter. I'm using this adapter plate up on top to lift the engine out. There's no transmission hooked up to this engine, and I also have two motor mounts, one on each side, and underneath here there's a 3/4 inch bolt. It's just one bolt. Undo it from each side. It should lift right out of there. As you can see, I do have my exhaust still on the truck, but I've cut it off. I don't know if you can see back there. Right there. I cut it off. So that way when I get it out of the truck, I'll remove all of that outside of the truck where it's a little bit easier. Now, as you could see in that time-lapse video there, or slow-mo, whatever, it just came right out. Like I said, there was on these brackets here on the frame, you have holes for where your bolts go through from your engine mounts, motor mounts, one on each side. They're kind of, looks like that one's kind of wallered out a little bit right there. I don't know if it originally looked like this. Probably, and it's just over time just wallowed it out like that. But real quick, you can see this flywheel here is just rusted up. I'm hoping I can get that resurfaced and cleaned up and reuse it. I guess this was one of the reasons why, you know, they had gotten rid of this truck, was because they didn't use it, and two, this clutch and all that was locked up. I mean, even if the clutch was, I'd have put a new clutch in it, I sure wouldn't have wanted to run it on that. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the flywheel, put this engine on this engine stand, finish draining out the oil. I haven't done that yet. Drain out all the fluids. Then I'm gonna start, I wanna take the valve covers off of it and kind of look down in there and see if there's a lot of dirt and debris, sludge or any of that in this engine. And then I'm gonna spin the engine over, and then I'm gonna remove the oil pan. That way I can really get a good look at my bearings inside the oil pan, if there was any sludge or metal debris, parts, anything like that. So I'm gonna get this flywheel off and get this engine on this engine stand. I'll be back. As you can see, I've gotten the engine out. Basically, it just slipped right out. Like I said, I had the exhaust disconnected. These are the engine brackets, I guess, that are inside the frame. Right here. This one is kind of, you can see it's kind of teardropped upside down there. This one, some light on it, somewhat wallered out. So I guess over time, that's just what happened. I may get a new one of these, replace that so it's not like that when I put the engine back in the truck. And you can tell that's the clutch mechanism or linkage kind of thing. It's all wore out, so I'll be doing an episode of rebuilding that when I get around to it. Of course, looks a lot better now that I got that out. Now that I can clean up this firewall. All this stuff cleaned up. But coming back over here to this engine, you can kind of see this flywheel here is just rusted up, and I've got to looking at my teeth are shot, so I'm just probably gonna have to bite the bullet and buy another new flywheel. I think you can buy the rings, just the teeth for these, but then I gotta have this flywheel resurfaced, so I'll just see how it works out, which is the better route to go. But basically, you can see how I have this. I've got these bolts broken free. You can kind of see how I've got this crowbar down in there hooked on those teeth, so that way it prevents the engine from moving. And then I just put a breaker bar on my ratchet there and broke it free. So, but I'm going to get back to taking this off and getting it on the engine stand real quick, so that way I can start taking the exhaust manifolds off of it and start. I want to be able to go in here and take the valve covers off, look at the valves, spin the engine over, and look at the take the oil pan gasket or oil pan off so I can see the bearings, pistons, you know, what I can see from having it upside down. So I'm gonna get back to this. Well, I finally got it out. I got this, as you can see in the other video, I got this flywheel off and that spacer plate, whatever you want to call that. This plate up there. I got it hooked up to the engine stand. I did have some bad luck. I did have two bolts. One broke off on this side of the head. And right in there. So when I get the heads redone, I'll just have them extract those bolts out of there. I'm not going to rework the heads on it. I may have this engine completely rebuilt. I don't know yet. It is yet to be determined. But I'm going to bag up my exhaust bolts and a few knickknacks there that went with the exhaust. Right over there. That's going to be a new fancy dancy boat anchor. Just what everybody wanted. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil that's in it. Get that oil filter off of it. And get the wires off of it. And start cleaning up my mess out here so I can go in here and play with this welder. So let me finish this up, and next video or next segment will be us in there trying to play with this welder. Well, I'm still kind of fooling with this engine. I'm gonna pop this intake off the top of this engine real quick. Apparently these old cast iron intakes are kind of heavy, so I figured why not just use a cherry picker here, pull that off, make it a lot easier. Then I'm gonna see what's down underneath there. So I'll be back. I guess this is some pan that goes up underneath the intake. And then I got to see this. Lovely. Built. We leave in just about 30 something days. We'll be out of the country for about, I don't know, 20 days or so. So I'll wait till I get back. And that frame really nice. And that would make it a whole lot easier when I go to set this engine and transmission back down in there. If there's nothing in the way at all, I can put the engine in the, connect the engine and the transmission together, just slide them right down in the frame, and then set the cab over all of that. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So, but next week I'll get started on finishing up the cab, so that way I can start cleaning it up and getting ready to start to paint it. But that's my day today. Like I said, I gotta clean all this mess up and get it. I got everything bagged and tagged. I just gotta box it up. I'll put all this stuff in my shed. But it's been a lovely day. At least I got the engine out. I know what's kind of going on with that thing. So, but if you like the videos, like them, subscribe if you haven't already. If you got any comments, techniques, any good advice, comment below. And that's it. That's all I got for today. Y'all have a great day.